President William Ruto has urged countries across the world to explore alternatives to use of plastic bags as part of efforts to tackle pollution. Speaking today at the United Nations office in Gigiri, Nairobi, during the opening of the third session of the Inter-Governmental Negotiating Committee on Ending Plastic Pollution, the head of state asked producers and innovators to rethink plastic products and packaging to reflect the principles of reuse, refill and repair.
Speaking today during the opening of the third session of the Inter-Governmental Negotiating Committee on Ending Plastic Pollution at the UN offices in Gigiri, Nairobi, President William Ruto urged the world to follow Kenya's example by banning plastic paper bags in order to tackle pollution, challenging producers and innovators to rethink plastic products and packaging to reflect the principles of reuse, refill and repair.
I would like to affirm Kenya's commitment to ending plastic pollution. We demonstrated this commitment with a ban on the manufacture and use of polythene bags in 2017, followed closely in 2020 with a ban on single-use plastics in protected areas such as national parks, forests, and beaches. Further, in July 2022, Kenya enacted the Sustainable Waste Management Act, which made our country the first in the world to subject all products, including plastics, to extended producer responsibility. We know this is not enough, and we are ready to play our part in the elimination of plastic pollution.
President Ruto argued that there is need to explore alternative options such as non-plastic substitutes, alternative plastics and plastic products that do not have negative environmental, health and social impacts, at the same time challenging African plastic alternative industries to become market leaders and drive economic growth and transformation on the continent.
It is now time for investors, multinational corporations and technology companies to shift strategic investment to reduce their plastic waste footprint. We call upon producers and innovators to rethink plastic products and packaging to reflect the principles of reuse, refill, repair, and repurpose for exploring alternative options such as non-plastic substitutes, alternative plastics, and plastic products that do not have negative environmental, health, and social impacts.
The head of state also expressed concern that every year, more than 400 million tons of plastic waste are produced globally, emphasizing that such kind of pollution on the environment is unacceptable.
23 million tons find their way into rivers, lakes, and oceans, and less than 10% is recycled. Across the world, 46% of plastic waste is landfilled, 22% is mismanaged and becomes litter, while 17% is incinerated. If we hold our laurels and do nothing, we will produce more than 1 billion tons of plastic by 2060. This kind of polluting our environment is unacceptable and is essentially an existential threat to life, to humanity, and to everything in between.
At the same time, UNEP Executive Director Inga Anderson has said that there is need for a comprehensive approach in tackling the problem of plastic use from its product to packaging.
And Africa is a continent of natural resources that can be used for planet-friendly alternatives and substitutes to plastic. Friends, the coming days will be crucial, and it's in your hands.
The threat of plastics to our planet, our health, and our future is of such magnitude that it requires all of us, and I mean all of us, the Global South and the Global North, to develop and execute a global instrument that will help us to neutralize the threat of plastic pollution in our world.